Welcome back and happy Tuesday to you, Tennessee Valley. If you're up and at 'em already and stepped outside, well, you already know this. It's warm and humid. Temperatures are in the 70s. Later today, we're climbing into the mid-90s, so we're going to crank up that heat a few notches. Could be the hottest day of the week. 94 in Athens, 94 in Lafayette, 87 in Altamont. So even along the Cumberland Plateau, temperatures are going to push close to 90 degrees, and that's what we're going to be, I would say, the next week. You got to keep in mind, though, we're at the hottest part of the year, really, from now all the way through the first couple weeks of August. So low to mid 90s, about what you'd expect. And yeah, with that humidity, the heat index going to be either at or above 100, at least in valley locations, over the next week or so, probably even beyond. Here's a look outside, though. Nice and quiet. A little bit of cloud cover up towards Knoxville and one stray shower. But outside of that, things are looking really good here locally for your morning commute. As we get into the afternoon, start to get some of that rising air. There will be a few downpours here and there, similar to what we had yesterday. Coverage not going to be that high. Not everyone's going to get rain. Like, for example, yesterday, Red Bank didn't get anything. Soddy Daisy got a little bit, but East Ridge and East Sprainer were the winners. Got a really good storm, but that was about it for most of the valley. Most of the rest of the activity was along the Cumberland Plateau. So again, storms today favor the higher elevations. And I think the further east you go into western North Carolina and the North Georgia mountains, that's probably where your best chance of rain is going to be. And then late this evening, anything that pops up fades away. But again, rainfall amounts highly variable, as they typically are this time of the year. If you get under one of those heavy storms today or tomorrow, you could pick up, a quick inch or two of rain. If you don't get under one of those storms, then you're likely to just be dealing with the sunshine, heat, and humidity the next couple of days. So both things are on the table. But we are tracking a little bit of trouble down in the tropics. It's been somewhat quiet since Chantal about 2 weeks ago, but we have Invest AL93 off the east coast of the Florida Peninsula. This is going to eventually move into the open waters of the Gulf. So this could be our next named storm, which would be Dexter, of course, the fourth named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. So here's a look at the latest model suite. So each one of these represents a different global model and the possible track of the system. The further south it goes, the longer it would be over water. So you may have a slightly stronger storm. If it takes that northern track, more than likely you're just going to be dealing with a non-tropical system. So we're going to have to watch this very closely over the next couple of days because it does have a 40% chance of tropical development. Now, the likelihood of this becoming a strong hurricane or even a tropical storm, not all that high as of now, but that can change because those Gulf waters, again, are very warm. And if it goes on that southern track, it could strengthen pretty quickly. So again, we're going to watch this closely. Regardless, it's going to be a big rainmaker. So if you have beach plans, really from tomorrow through the weekend, just know there's going to be a lot of rain coming down across the Florida Panhandle and back towards New Orleans, Orange Beach, Gulf Shores. So again, we're going to keep an eye on this developing situation because if it did, become a tropical storm and make that curve, that could bump up our rain chances at some point. So I'm going to watch this closely. And again, if we have any new developments, you'll be the first to know. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. So the heat, humidity, and afternoon storm chances is really going to be the big thing over the next 7 days. Watching this weekend, that's where we could have maybe a little bit of an influence from the tropics and bump our rain chances up just a little bit. But in the meantime, do what you can to stay cool. The pool, probably going to be a good place to hang out. If not the pool, maybe the AC.